Hey, how are you all doing? Just gonna jump on here quickly. I got Jeff from Analog Pedals, hopefully joining me in a bit. Just see if we can get some people on. Hopefully Jeff will see what's going on and try to add himself to the conversation. Looks like he's on. And he's requested to jump on, so let's have a chat. Gotta bear with me, it's the first time I've done this. Hey!
What's going on, brother?
Good, I'm glad it worked. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm
Yeah?
just sitting down here doing a little work,
Slinging solder.
But I'm more designing, a circuit than slinging solder right
Oh,
now.
cool.
That'll be later.
That'll be later. So,
Yeah.
a couple of months ago, I got this box from you.
Yeah.
Yep. And inside was this incredibly lovely blue pedal, which I've had great fun in playing with. And we've been talking for a few months now. And then today, I had this one turn up. So what's in here?
Think you'll like it, man. You've got a few pedals in there.
A few in here. What do we got? So, I mean, do you want to tell us a little bit about the background and stuff? I know you've been making pedals for quite a while now.
Right. So you've got 3 pedals in there. One of them is my flagship pedal, the Kentucky Hot Brown Plus. And that is a...
Which do you remember which side they're packed in?
No. Just pull them out. There should be stickers on the top of the boxes.
Hey, first try.
There you go.
There we go. So
yeah, that's what I call my flagship pedal. That's the pedal that I personally use live in my setup.
So basically, your signature pedal, so to a degree.
Yeah. That is it's a distortion and a boost. It sounds really great. You get that brown sound, that reminds you a lot of Van Halen. And then the boost. And the reason I stacked the pedals that way was, I play through JCM 800s and they're only single channels. And when I played live, I really couldn't just do the volume, roll the volume down and roll the volume. I tried that a little bit and it didn't work. I was literally having to roll my volume almost off. So, right. And so, and instead of running 2 heads, and I did that too for a while, I would A/B between 2 heads, use one as a rhythm and one as a lead. I've got 2 JCM 800s. But to simplify my rig, I just use overdrive pedals, and
so just gives you the second channel without the hassle, basically.
Right, and I think I've explained this to you before.
Yeah.
I kind of use the distortion side is like a sort of like an attenuator, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I turn my amp up loud, really loud, and I control the volume with the pedal, so what's coming out of the amp is that pedal, or, is the volume from the pedal.
Yeah.
And so on the boost side, I turn it up. So, I'll actually get the same volume that's coming out of my amp. So that basically gave me like 2 channels, and I don't play arenas, so I can't really crank my amp up full block, full blast.
Taking the heads off the front of the row.
Right. Yeah. So this was the perfect thing for me because, I said I could stack pedals. You can use the first, the first side is kind of like a rhythm channel. and then the boost side is your lead channel. And the boost side is basically a clone of a ZVEX super hard on, and you'll get, I'm guessing, about 30 dB boost. So it'll really boost your amp up.
Yeah.
It'll boost your volume. And this, the way I run it with my amp up, cranked up, it'll slam it pretty hard.
Good. I'm running an AC 15, so
Yeah.
that's what I use live. So that'll be good because that's only a single channel as well. So I tend to
Right.
dial the clean and then crank the volume. But obviously, being predominantly a singer as well, I can't be juggling 200 things at once. So if it's just a kick on and go, then that's even
Right.
better. So that's the Kentucky Hot Brown Plus. There's a smaller version as well, basically, without the boost side.
Yeah, I make just the distortion side.
Yeah.
In a single, pedal too.
Cool.
And that's my favorite. I love that.
Yeah, this is one I'm really looking forward to getting hold of. This one, to be honest. This was the first one that suckered me in when I saw it. I saw Chris's one, and then saw this one. I thought, yeah, I need one of them. That's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So second out, we've got the Vibe, Mr. Steve Jewell's signature model.
Man, that's a level of the Univibe.
Yep.
And it does. You get that really swooshy, swirly sound that you get with the Univibe. I can't say much more. I mean, if you're in a Robin Trower or whatever, Bridge of Size, that pedal will nail it.
So I love the fact that these come with like a little user manual as well to explain everything too.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's slightly different because I was a pain in the backside. I appreciate. I apologize for that because it says it's external power only, but I asked you to mod this one and put the 9-volt in, didn't I?
Yeah, I had to put it in a bigger enclosure. The enclosure that I made Steve was a smaller enclosure, but the circuit was so big it left no room for a battery. Yeah.
Sure.
So, you being in the UK and the voltage difference, I put it in a bigger enclosure and you're able to fit a battery in that one, a 9-volt.
It's easy for me as well because it means I don't have to run power to the front of the stage.
Right.
Which is always another lead to trip over in my case. So if I could run wireless and then just a pedal board, that's even better. So then we got the intensity and the speed on that. That's
right.
Awesome. And then finally, this must be Mr. Boone Froggett's Mojo box.
That's right.
Boone was on here a second ago. I did see him, but I'm not sure if he's run away again. Probably got shy and run away.
What can I say, man? That pedal there. Look at the graphic on it. Patrick Galanis of the band Southern Governor designed that graphic. It's outstanding. He did such a good job. Such a killer job. Yeah.
It's got that Bela Lugosi horror vibe thing going on, isn't it? It's awesome.
See, that's, if you know Boone is into the old, kind of the B-movie horror flicks. And that fits his style. That right there, that graphic fits his style to a T.
Yeah.
I said it's fantastic. Patrick did such a great job. I mean, I can't give him enough praise. He did such a good job.
So this is,
so that's a tremolo.
Yeah.
And a micro chorus. The chorus was modeled after the MXR micro chorus. So you're not gonna get like the Electro-Harmonix chorus crazy, It's just gonna be a really a slight chorus. Now it will get kind of warbly if you turn it up all the way.
Yeah.
But from start to about midway, you're just going to get a nice slight chorus effect, And so with those pedals, you can use together or separately, like the Hot Brown.
Yeah.
The Hot Brown Plus. You can use them together or you can use them separately.
So I see on here as well, you managed to, did Boone give you his settings as well for this? Give you like a couple of
He
hints on
did.
his.
He gave me
Yeah.
some settings. Those what he found was what he liked, and I said Boone's a great musician. Boone's a great singer, a great
Yes.
guitar player. If you haven't heard him, look him up on YouTube. They've got a few albums out. I think their first album was a tribute to John Brim, and they did. My favorite song is "Tough Times," and it's just got. I don't know. It's kind of got that almost like a Delta kind of vibe to it. It's just bluesy, some harmonica going on in there, and they did a fantastic job. But they've done some other, they've got a couple other albums out.
Yeah,
you should check them out.
I managed to catch them live. Funny enough, I went to see Blackstone Cherry when they played a couple of years back. They've actually played a castle in Wales.
Isn't that crazy?
It was a bit of an odd one, yeah. When Chris told me the venue, I was like, "Really? You're gonna play in a castle?"
Yeah.
Luckily, the British weather held off.
That would be amazing.
It was an incredible gig, and I luckily enough Otis were the supporting band, and I'd never really heard of them much over in the UK.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I saw the lineup, I thought I've got to check these guys out, and thought right. And then literally, I downloaded "Chasing the Sun," the album, and that was it. I was hooked. And luckily, I got to meet Boone for a very brief period as I was running out of the stadium. Funny enough,
right.
Just shot over to him. I think I gave him a bit of a shell shock. I went, "Amazing guitars, amazing vocals, really love your stuff," and he sort of went, "Oh yeah, thanks." Like that. I was a huge fat white guy running towards him, probably scared the hell out of him. But
Boone, let me tell you, Boone and Steve both are just the most humble, down to earth people you would ever meet. And they're just country boys like me, living in small towns in South Central Kentucky.
Yeah.
And they're humble. They're good people, and they're approachable, if that makes sense. They're approachable. You just walk up and they'll talk your head off,
Yeah, well, when we saw this collab was going on, I reached out to Boone and just said, "Look, I've been helping Jeff and being really friendly with Jeff. Do you mind if I share some stuff?" And he's like, "No, go for it." Yeah. And then we haven't stopped really talking since, here and there. So, I mean, he really psyched about me getting this, and the fact that it was coming all the way over to the UK.
Yeah.
So,
and they're both Steve and Boone both are floored. They've now sold their first pedals in the UK.
Well, that's it. First step.
Now, Chris, it's funny because the Dose Fuzz, when I came out with that, I think the majority of the pedals I sold were in the UK.
Yeah,
I sold a bunch in the UK, and and like I said, Steve and Chris both live in the same town, Edmonton, Kentucky, and Chris is the same way. Chris is approachable. He's a really nice guy, and Chris knows what he wants. I mean, he told me exactly what he wanted. When he asked me to build the Dose Fuzz, he told me exactly, this is the way I want it. This is what I want it. Here's the graphic. Boom.
Dumb.
The guy knows what he wants.
Yeah, I mean,
he's incredible.
Yeah, I've spoken to him a few times. When it comes to his tone and his gear and stuff, he knows exactly what he wants. He wants it reliable. He wants it ready to go. And unless it meets that criteria, he won't put his name to it. Because I mean, saying about pedals coming to the UK, when they released the first Chris Robertson PRS, it was an EU UK exclusive,
right?
And the first 100 sold within the first week, I think it was. I don't think it even took that long. And then it was basically uproar from the rest of the world saying, "Why can't we get one?" And it was basically just the fans badgering PRS that came out with the worldwide exclusive. I've got 3 of them. I've got the 2 UK exclusives and the worldwide exclusive. Wow. So Yeah, I had to get
Amazing.
the Dose Fuzz when it came out as well. I saw that, but yeah, I'm not surprised a lot of them came over here. Weirdly, I spoke to him before, and he says like they play bars over there, but sell out stadiums over here.
Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
it's mad.
Listen, the UK, I'm telling you, and Europe as well. You guys, you guys got it, man. You love the music, and you're still buying the music, and you're still going to the shows. Except, well, for now with the whole COVID lockdown thing, but
Yeah,
hopefully we're getting past that. I know here in the U.S. things are starting to open up.
yeah,
Bars are starting to open up, and I think they're starting to let, you know, uh, restaurants and clubs go to full
yeah.
capacity.
Bars, pubs opened up here today. Funny enough, the
That's
first day
great.
you could actually drink inside. You've been able to drink in the beer gardens outside and stuff, and on the terraces.
Yeah.
We can actually go inside today. But yeah, I think the boys Blackstone are due here in September, and I think they're still going ahead. Fingers crossed. So they're playing all over the place, but I think their main gig in London is actually in the Royal Albert Hall. Somehow they've managed to nail that place.
Amazing.
It's mad. When I saw, I was like, "Chris, you play seriously?" He was like, "Yep, we're playing." So I'm going to try my best to get up there if I can. Restrictions pending, obviously, but
Right. That's
and of
amazing.
course we need to give a shout out to. I thought I thought I'd stick it on just because, hey man, I've got to represent.
That's that's my band. That's we're an AC/DC tribute band, 100% Angus. I play the part of Angus, and we've been doing this since '04. We've been doing it a long time,
And it's full commitment because I've seen your legs in those shorts. That is commitment to the cause, brother. That is.
I tell you, it's getting rough though. I'm 49 years old. I'm not in my 20s anymore, and this whole COVID thing has not been kind to me as far as my weight goes. But
Yep.
I love doing it. Angus was such a huge inspiration to me growing up, and learning his chops and trying to get him down, just like him, but still yet trying to develop my own style.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been doing it since '04. We've recently just bought a bunch of new lights, a bunch of new foggers and smokers, and a new PA system. So hopefully we're getting geared up. We're getting ready to get back out and start hitting it. We've got several shows already lined up. What about you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of basically online things in the pipeline at the moment because obviously gigging's a bit. We're still locked down, so there's no chance of gigging anytime soon. But yeah, I'm going to put together what I'm commonly referred to as Tonehenge now, which is going to be my new pedal board.
Yeah, you got to post that when you get it built, man. When you get it built.
Yeah, I've got to get all the bits ordered. The pedal, I've got to find the pedal board that they all fit on. I think I found the perfect pedal train I've managed to squeeze it all into. And then once they're all together, yeah. Well, I had the Nano Plus, but I think I'm going to need a little bit more room now. You got anything else coming up in the future you can talk about, or it's too many hush things?
I do have, and we're waiting on the artwork to get done. I do have a new signature pedal coming out for another Kentucky artist. His name is Greg Martin of the Kentucky Headhunters, and we've been kind of going back and forth for the past few months. Greg doesn't really use effects. He doesn't. He's not his 1958 Les Paul. He calls it the Hank Clank, because Hank Williams Jr. gave it to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So his 1958 Les Paul through, I think he uses random Marshalls, but they're older Marshalls.
Okay.
I think he generally sticks with maybe earlier Marshalls. But yeah, 1958 generally through his Marshall, and that's how he gets his tone. But back in the 70s, he was in a band called Itchy Brother.
Okay.
Here in Central Kentucky. And he told me he used to use an EP3 Echoplex. And he didn't necessarily use the delay on it, but he used it for that preamp. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of guitar players did that back then.
Yeah.
Was just used it for that preamp. So he wanted that preamp, that AP3 preamp, but he wanted a tone knob on it like the EP4s had, you know. So I know that Dunlop has released the EP3 preamp pedal. So this is going to be kind of like it, only it's going to be like the EP4. It's going to have a tone knob. So you're going to be able to run it through that same preamp. You're going to get that wonderful tone. You're going to get a little bit of boost, but you're going to be able to control the tone on it. So he's excited about it. But we'll just have to see. We're waiting on the artwork to get finished, and then we'll kind of break it to everybody on the release date.
So it's basically an AP 3.5 then, is it basically? Instead of an EP, it's an analog pedals 3.5. Slap bang in the middle.
I'll have to. We'll have to. Maybe at a later date, I'll release what he's calling it. But man, this has been so much fun collaborating with all these artists. And like I said, they're, these guys just live 30 minutes down the road from me, and it's just amazing how out of that one little town, which, Glasgow, Greg's from Glasgow, it's just the next town over from Edmonton. So they're real close.
Yeah.
But how these bands have come out of these small communities, small towns. And I mean, if you were here, you would be like, it's, just a little bitty town. But, they really did it. And I think the help from the Kentucky Headhunters, the push from the Kentucky Headhunters to Blackstone Cherry, they kind of pushed them,
Yeah.
and they helped them. And that's what these guys are doing for me. They're pushing me and they're helping me. And as a musical community, that's what we need to do. We need to help, we need to push our fellow musicians and help them and strive to just make it bigger and better,
Definitely. I think that's the best thing about the whole community is, we're hundreds of thousands of miles away, very much. We've already connected online, but then we've got a great relationship, I think.
Absolutely.
And you've been a massive support to me and everything like that, and I really appreciate you sending this stuff over.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe we can make a pedal in the future.
Hey, I'm all for it, man.
Hey, I'm not as big as the other guys, but I've got some crazy ideas.
Well, listen, I had a fella just a few weeks ago. I can't remember exactly where he's from, somewhere out west here in the U.S. And he wanted a delay pedal with a boost, and I thought, well, that's a kind of an odd combination, but I was like, okay. I made him it. He has a company called Storms Guitars, and he sent me a graphic. So, I added the graphic onto the enclosure and built it, and it sounds fantastic. I was like, wow. I mean, who would ever thought, putting a boost and a delay together, but it's great. And I'm sure when you're going into a lead, you can kick them both on and just make it pop,
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. You build these pedals from scratch. You
Absolutely.
Powder coat them and everything. Everything's handmade by you. It's just a one guy operation.
Well, I used to powder. I don't powder coat anymore. When I was doing Chris's pedals, I got a bit overwhelmed, because I literally was doing everything myself.
Yeah.
But now I've got, I order the pedals printed, the enclosures printed, painted and printed. So now I can do more. I can push more out there, and the graphics will be perfect, You know, if you take a look at yours, you know, the graphics are perfect.
They are. They're amazing. I mean, they are really quick.
But I make the circuits from scratch. You know, I get copper. I get copper clad boards. I'll show you. Yeah. Let me get it out here.
Don't give any trade secrets away now.
Right. You know, they just start out as a copper clad board, and I print the circuit on it, and I dip them in ferric chloride, which is, you know, etches everything off but what's printed on it.
Yeah.
And then you drill the holes and you solder in all the components and wire them together, you know. And so that's it. I do it all from scratch, and it does take time. You know, it does take a lot of time.
I can confirm. I mean, I've played the Dose FUZZ a lot since they turned up, and I've not had one problem with it. I mean, I sent you a track, I think, within a couple of days of getting it. I instantly plugged it in, cranked it off, and like inspiration just hit, and I was like, "Wow, okay, let's go." And I haven't stopped really since. So I'm hoping that the same thing's going to happen with these three as well. And I've got plenty of stickers to put everywhere as well now.
Absolutely. But you know, for those out there listening, if you have a crazy idea, you think, hey, you know, maybe this will work with this, send it to me. I'll tell you if I can make it or not. You know, and I can do one-offs. You know, I can do, like I said, you know, for you just want one pedal, I can do it. You know, and it's all handmade. It's all custom. You get what you want, you know, including, you know, the enclosure color, the graphic, the knobs, you know.
Yeah, because you've got some crazy knobs. I mean, I asked for the clear ones we put on this because I've got a thing for clear knobs, but I mean, this thing looks like it's come off like an old radio from like the 50s or something. It's like a proper UFO going on with it. Awesome. Well, everything, if anybody else looking to get hold of Jeff, get hold of you on Instagram, yeah?
Absolutely. Analog Pedals.
Analogpedals.com. List of all more.
Analogpedals.com is my website. You can, you know, you can connect with
a couple of these left to order, in you?
Oh, yeah. We've got a few left. You can find me on Facebook at Analog Pedals. But yeah, and shoot me a message, you know, communicate with me. I'll talk to you.
Yep. Well, he gets fed up with talking to me because I message him at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But I'm going to plan on doing some videos now over the next couple of weeks with all of the pedals. I'm tempted to crank them all up and stick them all out at once just to see what happens. I don't know why. You might be mad, who knows? It's got to be done. Someone else hasn't done it. I know Boone's got a couple of them, but I'm not sure everyone's got all four of them. So let's just see what we can do. All right then, brother. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Once I get some videos up, I'll let you know. But I'll probably post this and I'll take some pictures now, and I'll put all your link details and everything below so everyone can get hold of you.
Sweet.
Thanks, brother. Take it easy.
Thank you, Scott. Take care, man.
Bye.
Goodbye.